Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I am so glad you joined me. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time you are watching this video. First of all, I want to thank those of you who have decided to click on this video for this DIY pop-up special. Today, we're going to be making an earring, okay? So here are the items that you are going to need for this DIY. You are going to need some scissors. You're going to need 12 gauge aluminum wire, and this is the choice of color that I decided to go with. This is like it's a blue, it's like a royal blue. You're going to need some 20 gauge wire. You're going to need some coral shells, okay? You're going to need your wire cutters, your round nose pliers, a ruler, your choice of fabric, and some fish hooks, okay? And we're gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, everyone, so I'm getting ready to go over the measurements and the size and all you will need to do this project. First of all, you're going to be making a pair of earrings, so you're going to need 2 pieces of 5 inches of 20 gauge wire, okay? So you're going to need 2 pieces, all right? The next thing you're going to need 4 pieces. I'm only doing 1 pair of earrings, but you're going to need 4 pieces of 12 gauge, 8 inches aluminum wire. I'm going to repeat that. You are going to need 4 pieces of 12 gauge, 8 inches of aluminum wire. So your pieces need to be 8 inches long of 12 gauge wire, okay? The next thing you're going to need, you are going to need 6 pieces of your fabric, and you want to cut your fabric at least a yard thick. Listen to me, a yard thick, an inch thick, okay? So you want your fabric to be cut an inch thick, and you want the length of it to be 21 inches long, okay? So we're going to go ahead and now get into it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take all 3 of our pieces and we're going to put them over top of each other, just like this. Okay, we're going to tie a knot. The knot, you don't want it to be too big. You want it to be just enough because you're going to be using all of this. And you're just going to tie a knot just like that to keep it from coming loose, okay? Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start braiding our fabric. Now, the look that I am trying to achieve with this design is a boho chic look, okay? Even though I'm using African print fabric, I'm going to put a different spin on it with the look that I give it, okay? So basically, you want your fabric to fray as much as possible. So I'm going to start braiding it just a little bit so that you all can see what now you won't be able to see what I'm doing when I start braiding it because I can't braid it like this. So I'm going to start braiding it and I'll be back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so I started braiding it. And pretty much what I am going to do, this is the look that you want your earring to have. Okay, So basically what you want to do is you want to continue to braid this whole piece all the way down till you get to this end. So I'm going to be braiding from where I am right now all the way down till I get to the end, and then I will be back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so here I am. I'm back, and this is my look. This is the look that your earring will have. Okay. Now, I did not tie a knot down the bottom of this. What I'm basically going to do is I'm going to put these two together just like that, and I am going to cut it. Okay. So I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm going to go in the middle, holding these two together to make sure they're even. And I'm just going to snip just like that in the middle. Okay. Now you don't have to worry about it coming loose immediately because it's been braided. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my two pieces and join them together. I'm going to do one piece at a time. So I'm going to snip off the top of this right here. Let's snip this off. Just like that. And I am going to take one piece of my 12 gauge aluminum wire that's 8 inches long. I'm going to take my round nose pliers and I'm going to make a loop just like that. Okay, now I'm going to take my two pieces together and I'm going to hold it to the side, not this way, but to the side, just like this. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up. I'm going to bring it up just like this, holding these two together. Okay, this is what you're going to have. And then I'm going to take my wire. I'm going to hold these two as tight as I can get it, just like this. This is how you want your earring to be. And then I'm going to place my aluminum wire where I have the loop. I'm going to turn it down just like that. And then I'm going to start wrapping this around. Now, in the beginning, it may be a little hard, but if you keep practicing it, it will become perfect. Wait a minute. And sometimes this can be a little trying. There you go. Now, finally got it. And this is pretty much what you are going to have, ladies and gentlemen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start wrapping this around my earring. And I'm going to try to make sure that none of my pieces are sticking out, if possible. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to cut this little bit of extra that I have up here at the top. I'm going to cut that off, okay? Now, I want you all to know that if you want these earrings to be bigger, you just got to use more fabric. If you want them to be bigger, just use more fabric, okay? Because when you braid anything, it shrinks. When you braiding it together, it shrinks. So all that long fabric that you saw me, as soon as I braided it, it shrunk all the way down pretty much. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to continue to wrap around this piece, just like this. And I have showed you all how to do this technique many times. This technique is a life savior. Okay. And you just keep wrapping it around and wrapping it around. All right. And you can go up as many times as you want to. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to take my finger, this part of your finger right here, and I'm going to snip right up at the top, just like that. I'm going to take my round nose pliers, and I'm going to make a loop, and I'm going to tuck it down inside. Okay? And that's the first part of your earring. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pretty much do this one the same way, except for I'm going to put this through here, just like this. Okay? I'm going to snip off this extra right here. So snip that off. Okay? And I'm going to do this the same way that I did the top part. Except for this time, I'm going to have both of the pieces this way. Okay, instead of it being turned to the side like this one is, it's going to be hanging this way. So pretty much I'm going to take my aluminum wire here. I'm going to make another loop. And I'm going to take and hold these two pieces together. And I'm going to wrap. I'm going to bring this piece with the loop on it, my aluminum wire with the loop on it. I'm going to place it right there. And I'm going to do this one the same way I did the first one. Okay. And I'm just going to keep going around just like I did at the top part. Okay. And the next thing I'm going to do, now I'm going to cut this off to get that out of the way because it is in the way. And I'm going to just try to snip off as much of it as I can. Okay. Get this all cleaned up, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to wrap this around just like I did the first one. And continue to wrap. Okay. All right, now this is going to hang just like that. All right, it's going to hang to the side. So I'm going to measure this one the same way I did the first one. I'm going to measure with my finger, and I'm going to snip at the end. Right there. I'm going to make my loop. Just like that. Okay. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 20 gauge wire and I'm going to make a loop in my 20 gauge wire, and I'm going to come down about 1/2 inch. I'm going to give it some indentation. Actually, I got to come down a little further than 1/2 inch. I'm going to come down about 1 inch. Okay, now I'm going to give it some indentation. Just like that. Now I'm going to take this piece right here, and I'm going to stick it through that piece just like that. And then I'm going to take my round nose pliers, hold it, push this piece up, and wrap it around. And you can go around as many times as you would prefer. Okay, just like that. I'm going to snip off this extra right here with my wire cutters. Okay. And then I'm going to just make sure that there is nothing sticking. Just like that. Now this is pretty much how your earring is going to be. It's going to be made with this piece like that. This piece is going to be coming through the top piece, and this is going to come down just like this. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add on my coral shell. Okay. I'm going to take my coral shell through. I'm going to pinch. Let me see. Pinch up on my coral shell. Just like that. And then I'm going to just wrap it around. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just enough to get it on this piece right here. And you're just going to wrap it, start wrapping it around. Okay? And you're just going to keep continuing to wrap it. Okay. You're going to keep going around. All right. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just enough to, you want to get it on your piece. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my wire cutters and I'm going to snip this off right here. And I'm going to take my round nose pliers and go in. Squeeze it. Okay, and last but not least, we're going to add on our fish hook. And you may have to add a jump ring on here. Depends on what you're comfortable with. It doesn't really matter which way you put it on, front or back, it doesn't matter. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so here is the finished look. You have yourself a really beautiful pair, unique, original design earrings, okay? If you all make a decision to make these, please shoot me out a Instagram if you're on Instagram, because I am on Instagram. My name on Instagram is Lajoytra Creations. Please shoot me an email, not an email, but a message or whatever, however you do it, letting me know that you made a decision to make and create these. I would love to see you your work, see what you came up with. There's so much you can do with this technique, braiding and wire, y'all. Like, the sky is the limit to making and creating jewelry. So I want to thank y'all for watching today. For those of you who are new to my channel, please subscribe, hit the bell, hit the subscribe button, hit that little gray bell on the side so that when I upload more videos, you will be notified. I want to thank y'all for watching. Have a wonderful and awesome day, everyone. Peace and blessings. See ya.